welcome again into our second edition of Excelsior, where we deal with educational issues relevant to today's educational leaders, specifically the principal. Remember, if you reflect upon our first segment, we talked about the 5 levels of leadership that came from Dr. John Maxwell's book, Developing the Leader Within You. And those levels that we talked about were the position, which was in terms of rights. Level 4 was permission, relationships. Level 3 was production, which was results. Level 2 was for people development, reproduction. Level 1 was personhood or respect. In the context of those 5 levels, we talked about on the last time, knowing yourself in the context of the leader within you and how to develop yourself as a leader. In doing that, you have to know where you are in terms of these 5 positions so you can grow yourself. Well, in this segment, we're going to go a little deeper and talk about your personality type as a leader. Once you determine your leadership style or the level that you're at in terms of leadership, you have to determine your personality type as a leader. Everyone has a personality. And we're going to talk about the personality types today. Basically, there are 3 types of inventories that everyone in education deals with. One is the Myers-Briggs, and all of those inventories are based upon the work of Carl Jung, who was a psychiatrist that did his work around 1913. So the Myers-Briggs inventory is based upon that. Also, the Keirsey inventory is based upon that same work, and also the work that's done by True Colors is based upon the same thing. My personal preference is the Keirsey inventory that deals with how we relate to others. And there are 4 different levels of that. Let me just share them with you because it's good that you know your personality. The first one is an extrovert. An extrovert, and then we have extrovert sensing, thinking, and judging. The ESTJ. The next one is introversion, intuitive, feeling, and perception. That's INFP. Once you take the Keirsey inventory, which has 100 questions, it narrows it down to which category you fall into. Either you're an extrovert or you're an introvert. Either you're sensing or you're thinking or you're feeling or you're judging. You're a combination of those 4. Well, let's talk about those 4. As we look at that, again, they are introversion, extroversion, sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling, judging, and perception. In looking at those, let's look at the characteristics of those and look at how you may fit into one of these 4 categories. There are 16 types. Again, there are 16 types of those. Let's look at ISTJ. ISTJ is called the inspector in terms of the principal. They do what should be done. Next to that is the ISFJ, and that's the protector. They have a high sense of duty. Next you have INFJ, the counselor. They believe in inspiring others. Next you have INTJ, the mastermind. Everything has room for improvement, so says the mastermind. Then you have ISTP, they're the craftsmen. They're ready to do anything at any time. Then you have ISFP, those are the composers. They see the possibilities for everything in every situation. Next you have INFP, those are the healers in our organization. They perform noble tasks and they help everyone in the organization. Last, in the set of intuitors, you have INTP, and those are the architects. They love problem solving. So in your leadership team, if you're going to have an intuitor, you have to know the different types of intuitors. Well, let's talk about extroverts. There are 8 different kinds of extroverts. The first one is ESTP. They are the dynamos. These people are the ultimate realists. You want one of these folk on your team. Next we have ESFP, the performer. They will do anything once in life. Again, that's ESFP. They will do anything once in life. Next is ENFP. These are the champions. They will give you everything they have of themselves. Next is ENTP. Those are the visionaries. These people are exciting, they're fun to be around, and they're always up for a challenge. The next extrovert is ESTJ. These are the supervisors. These are life's administrators. Most principals fall in the category of ESTJ. Now it's important that if you are the ESTJ, that you surround yourself with other different personality types, because you don't want everyone on your team having the same personality type. The next one is ESFJ, the provider. These folk are your hostesses to the world. They make everyone at your school feel really at home. The next one is ENFJ. These are your teachers. ENFJ are your teachers. They're smooth, they're talking, and they're persuaders. That's what makes them such good teachers. And the last one is ENTJ. These are your commanders. These are life natural leaders. Now, a natural leader doesn't necessarily mean that you have leadership skills. If you're a natural leader, your leadership skills still has to be developed, which goes back to those 5 levels of leadership. Well, now you may be asking yourself, what is the practical application for knowing my personality type? In order for you to grow as a leader, you have to know what your personality type is. If not, then you will have a team, a leadership team, where the person that is on your team thinks the exact same way you do. In that respect, your team will not grow. Your team has to have some dichotomy. The team has to have someone that thinks the opposite of the way you do and feels the opposite of the way you do. Along with that, your team has to have the freedom to talk among themselves, which means that your team has to know what your personality type is and what their personality type is. So behind closed doors in your leadership team meetings, you can grow and talk about things freely, because as your team grows, as you grow, your staff grows, your student grows, your community grows, everyone grows, which leads to increased student achievement. So again, it's important to know these 14 personality types. Again, the type that I like to use is the Keirsey model, which deals with these 16 personality types, and it gives you a more in-depth knowledge of where you are as a leader, as a principal, and helps those folk around you to grow. This ends our second segment, Know Yourself Before You Grow Yourself. This sets the stage for segment number 3, Hoodwink. Tune in next week for Hoodwink. Have a great day.